So we'll start with our prayer. And then we also sing. Otherwise, only intellectual exercise is not good. We have to sing the glory of God also. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Vavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam vyasena grathitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam advaitamritavarshinim bhagavatim ashtadashadhyayinim amba tvam anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita bhavadveshinum. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Om. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, the Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. So before venturing in the text, let us sing as we used to do. For long we were not doing. So let us sing the name of Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Jai Rama Krishna, 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 Jai Jai Rama Krishna. Bhagavan said, Naham tisthami Vaikunthe, yoginam hridayena cha. I do not reside in Vaikuntha. Neither I am in the heart of yogis. Because they are not meditating on me. They are concentrating. And Vaikuntha, how long I should be there? So where do I live then? Madbhakta yatra gayanti tattva tisthami he Narada. He said this to Narada, "O Narada, where do I reside? Wherever my devotees sing the glories, my glory, I reside there. So whenever we sing, we can feel his presence." So, yeah, we have to uh, undertake this study also, because this is what we are for here. Before we enter in the text, let us see how we see, because that's very important. Though I have explained you various aspects of the same thing, last time, as you know, I gave example of a watch. Watch has various aspects. First, it's physical, then it's mechanical, then it's utility, then it's beauty, then the metallurgy, then the ingredient of that metallurgy, and ultimately it is energy and energy alone. And ultimately a spiritual scientist would see there it is nothing else but expression of the divine. Now how we see? So we have five senses. I see you, I touch something, I taste something, smell something, and hear. So these are the avenues, 5 avenues: seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. This is our universe. But this universe also is affected by our liking, disliking. Raga, dvesha. Raga, dvesha means attachment and aversion. I like something and I dislike something. Say, suppose this is very cold nowadays. It's very difficult to come. But we have some solution. We have, say, garments, warm garments, and then our cars are also warm, house is heated. So we like, so one is called Vyashti Drishti. Vyashti Drishti means individual perception. It depends on our liking, disliking. Too much of rain, you see. So sometimes rain is good. If there is no rain, then we will suffer. And in many places there is a scarcity of water. So they want rain. But here so excessive. For 6 or 7 months it's all raining and raining. So we say, oh, not too much. It is too much. So one is Vyashti Drishti. So Vyashti Drishti means individual, influenced by individual liking, disliking, and anger, and say desire, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad. Lobha means greed, and all these are influencing. And this is mine. So whatever is mine, I want to care. And whatever is others, I don't bother. So ahamkara, mamukara. All these are influential in perception on one's perception. These are the influential factors. But in absence of all these, it's called objective seeing or objective perception. Say, a person will come and see the same thing, but like say suppose today there is a function and it is raining. So we don't want that rain should come and spoil our function. But an objective person would come and see the same thing without such influence. See how it changes. Though he is also perceiving the same physical thing, but without aversion and liking, disliking. So it is objective perception. Now we have another another thing. It's called inferential knowledge. We have intellect. Through intellect we understand many things, though it is not required to see. See, now you can see this light, and also you can see this screen is working, this mic is working. So mic is magnifying my voice, whereas light is giving light. But you know that behind all these there is electricity. Can you see electricity there? No. How you know that electricity? Because we switch on. That means we are switching the power. So it is inferential knowledge. We infer something. We can understand logically. If you see smoke on a hill, so you'll know that there is fire. So Anuman. So various way of perception is there. So this we also see. It is called inferential knowledge. One is perceptual knowledge, what we perceive, but that's also influenced by our liking, disliking, etc., etc. I explained. Inferential knowledge, we see. So this huge universe, how we see. But if you ask a person who is engaged in some manual work, he's not mindful about this whole universe. Now come a poet. Poets see the same hills and dells, but he writes a beautiful poem. And it's so inspiring. Even not a poet, we also, when we go to the ocean, use. So, though we have that imagination, but we don't generally use it. Why? Because we are so engrossed in our day-to-day life, our lives, we don't give enough attention to see that. Now, another kind of perception is there. In mothers we see that. Intuitive perception. It happens that one of our Swamis, so he was coming to the office and he saw boys were playing football. So he went to his office. He stood there for a few minutes and then went to his office. And then when he was sitting there, he received a call from Calcutta. It happened in Devghar. So he lifted and then a mother called, Maharaj, how is my boy? He's well. He's playing football. Is it? But I am feeling very bad. How it happened? So please see whether he's well. And by that time, people brought that boy. He told his leg. How mother perceived so many 100 miles away without anything. So it happens because of our love for something. We can find this among our friends also. They feel each other, who love each other so much. So this is another kind of intuitive perception. So objective perception, then inferential perception, and this is intuitive perception. But there is another kind of perception. And it does not happen generally. It is divine perception. So this happens when we are totally egoless, when we are, or we can say without raga, dvesha and kama, krodha, lobha, moha, all these limitations, there is something. Then we can see, okay, I can give some examples. Say you are flying. Just imagine that this whole universe, full of divine. Inside you, outside you, it is divine and divine alone. This is imagination. It is not perception. But just imagine that it matures into your perception. How it will happen. So here, in the case of Arjuna, same thing happened. He heard about Sri Krishna that you know, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sthita. I am the self, O Gudakesha, O conqueror of sleep. I am residing in all self. And so many other Ayudhana, Maham Vajram, then Prajanashchi, Kandarpaha, Sarpanam, Vasuki, all these we have studied already. That I reside in individual self like the self, and in Maharshis I am Bhrigu, all kinds of explanation. Then Arjuna said, I have heard enough, and I am sure it is all real. And you also explained how you create this whole world. This is apara prakriti and para prakriti. Bhavapayu hi bhutanam sruto vistarasumaya. I have heard in great details. But now I want to see. But if you consider me as able person to see, please bless me with your vision. Then comes Divyam Dadami Chet Chakshuhu. So, Sri Krishna says, I'll give you Divya Chakshu, divine eyes. So, we have Charma Chakshu like this, eyes. We have Jnana Chakshu. Jnana Chakshu means which we can infer, we can imagine. And that's also real. You know, behind this light, behind this, it is electricity. You can understand. How you understand? By your knowledge. Jnana Chakshu. Charma Chakshu, Jnana Chakshu. But there is divine Chakshu. Divine Chakshu means divide of all human aberrations. What is the reality? That can be seen. Sri Ramakrishna saw and he explained, oh, it is like flood of the ocean of light. There is no word to explain. But we have to understand by our imagining power what he must have seen. And not only that, when he saw, when he experienced the non-dual, say, Nirvikalpa Samadhi Bhumi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what he experienced. Even the Divine Mother, he cut her asunder. What is that? Just imagine. So here Arjuna is in the same same situation. So we have completed, though we have completed up to 17, but we'll take up from here. Tatasa Vishme Avishto Rishtaro Madhananjaya Pranamya Shirasadevam Kritanjali Rabhashata. Now before that, he saw what he saw. Before that, 12. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yuga Paduttita Yadi Sadrishi Sasyad Bhashastasya Mahatmanaha. If the splendor of 1,000 suns were to rise up simultaneously, now just imagine, sun is about 91.54 million miles from us. 91.5 million miles from us, and it takes about 8 minutes to travel the light. It takes light to travel to us about 8 minutes. And Arjuna is seeing now in front of him. And just suppose we are in sun, every earth is light and light. Just imagine. Now he says another, Divi Surya Sahasrasya. Sahasrasya. That means thousands of suns simultaneously. What it is. So this is not physical sun. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yuga Paduttita Yadi Sadrishi Sasyat Bhasastasya Mahatmana. So you are shining like that. And before that he said, you're Ananta. Ananta means there is no end. No end in Desha Kala. Desha Kala means Desha, time, space. There is no end of in space. And Kala, time. There is no end in time. Past, present and future. You are divine. If the splendor of 1,000 suns were to rise up simultaneously in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that mighty being. Who is that? Ananta Deva. Ananta Devam. Devam Anantam Vishwatomukham. Vishwatomukham means he is all pervading. So we are to imagine we have that capacity. Not only that, we can experience this. It is possible. Only thing we should be dedicated to experience this. Then he says, Tatrikastham Jagat Krishnam Pravibhaktam Anekadha Apashya Deva Devasya Sharire Pandavastada. There in the body of the God of gods, the son of Pandu, O Pandu, then saw the whole universe resting in one with its manifold divisions. So Arjuna is seeing this. It is not by this charma chakshu, that means not this bodily eyes, not imagining also. It is not poetic. It is not intuitive also, it is divine. What that expression or what the seeing is, as of now we cannot imagine. So what the first thing is, he experienced horripilation. Tatasa Vishmaya Vishta. So Vishmaya means, something regular. There is nothing. Do you know, Earth is moving about 65,000 miles per hour. Per hour. 65,000 miles. And we walk 4 miles per hour. Just imagine. But it's normal. It does not give us that experience of wonder. But in 80s, people experienced the Mount St. Helens when it exploded. Oh, wonderful. And everybody was wondering. So whenever something extraordinary happens, we have that we Vishmaya Vishta. That means we get wonderment. So this happens when something extraordinary happens. If it rains incessantly for maybe few years, few months or few hours, then we'll say, oh my God, what is happening? That's wonder. So, or snows, say 5-6 feet, we'll say, oh God, what is happening? So this is wonderment. So similarly, Tatha sa Vishmaya Vishto Drishta Rupma Dhananjaya Pranamya Shivisad Devam Kritanjali Ravasha. Then Dhananjaya, filled with wonder, with his hairs standing on end. So this, when we are so surcharged, this we have to experience. Nobody can explain what it is. By seeing this, your hair will stand on your on its end. So that is the expression, or we can experience this. And Sri Ramakrishna used to experience a lot. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even our devotees also. Once it happened. Another thing, so before I say that incident, we can see, we can understand we have body. So similar thing we can perceive. Something which is not even conceivable by us, we cannot understand. Therefore, God has created in such a way that you can find this bodily also. Like we have body, then we have mind, with subtle mind. It has no form. And it pervades the whole body. Then we have self, not only pervades this mind or body, The whole universe. So, we are not to discard when somebody says he saw his divine form, like here. Rather, we have to try to understand that this is the help by God, so that we transcend this limitation of our bodily existence. So now that incident. One Swami Vijayananda, who later was in charge of, I think, Brazil or Argentina, I always confuse. So his name was Pashupati. So Pashupati Maharaj was in Varanasi, and Latu Maharaj, Swami Adbhutananda, also was in Varanasi. So he would go to Ganges because it's a good scenario. People are coming, going, taking bath, etc. But he would not take bath. And he would not go to Vishwanath temple. Vishwanath temple is Shiva temple there. It has recently come to light because of, Modi improved that area very well. Before that it was very narrow lane and very difficult to go and lots of crowd. So anyway, so he would not go there to have darshan of Shiva. So Latu Maharaj said, "Hey Pashupati," he would loudly say like this, "Hey Pashupati, why don't you go to Shiva to have darshan? And why don't you take bath in Ganga?" He said, "Maharaj, I see only stone there. I don't see any deity." And he said, "What? We also see stone there." And Ganga also. And Ganga is polluted and people are coming and throwing things in it. Though we say Mother Ganga, we have lots of contradictions. We say Mother Ganga and we pollute it. So he said, "I see only stone." So I said, No, you should go. And so he said nothing. So after that, 1 or 2 days or whenever it happened, he was sitting with his companion on the Ganga. There is ghat, that means stairs. It goes down to the Ganga. So he was sitting there. All of a sudden, he saw a white, like a Shiva, white, and with a matted lock and this and moon on his forehead. And he saw, and he started trembling. And then the companion, he held him. And then he said, what is happening to you? "Oh, I cannot explain this to you." And then after that, he later came back. And after that, every day he would go to have darshan of Shiva. And then, so Latu Maharaj said, "Hey Pashupati, what happened?" "Oh Maharaj, it is because of your grace that Shiva gave me darshan." He said, "It is because of your grace. Otherwise, it's not my capacity." So that means what kind of experience? It is not ordinary. And we should not doubt that it is totally bereft of forms or names. Because without that we cannot understand also. Just imagine Rama. Rama is son of Dasharath. जो राम दशरथ का बेटा वही राम घट घट में लेटा. The same Rama is in all hearts. Just imagine. We can imagine, but seeing is a totally different ball game. It's different, totally different. So here, Tatasa Vishmaya Avishta Rishta Roma Dal. So first he got the horripilation. Oh my God, what is this? Like Pashupati Maharaj. Pranamya. So what happens? Pranamya. Submission comes by itself. No need to chastise. It comes by itself. So Arjuna was humbled and said, "Pranamya Shirasadevam Kritanjali Ravashata." So he offered his pranam And then he said. Now another thing, when it is written, we have highlighting. I, I learned this morning. So highlighting or capitalizing, we have various ways if it is written. So how in the text it is done? To say something extra or to highlight that. So here the chandas means the meter is changed. So here we find Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna says, Pashyami devans tava deva dehe sarvans tatha bhuta vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastham rishishcha sarvan uruganscha divyan. So what I see? I see all the devas, O Deva. So I see all the devas, O God. In you, I see all the devas. It is not seen by eyes. It is not seen by imagination. It is not seen intuitively. It is seen a different strata and a different way, totally different. So what he sees, I see all the devas. But how the expression happens? Like Maharaj, Pashupati Maharaj. He saw Shiva, white. Even when Sri Ramakrishna went to Varanasi, he also saw Shiva. And Shiva was giving Tarak mantra. Mantra for redeeming people. And mother would bring Mother Durga or Annapurna there would bring souls, and Shiva would give that Tarak mantra. That means by which one is emancipated. And then he is released. All the jivatva goes away. So here how to express? We understand only form. So this is what it is given. I see the devas, O Deva, in thy body and host of all grades of beings. Brahma. Brahma means creator. Creator means, say, suppose a poet is imagining and he wants to write. A singer wants to sing, create music. How it happens? See, I want to speak. How it is happening? It happens that, in my navel area that comes like this. So para, pashanti, and vak and vaikhari. So these are 4 stages. Vaikhari means when it is expressed. Before that it is vak in subtle form. And then pashanti in its causal form. And para means supreme. What is it? It comes out as if from navel. Any imagination also comes from there. So, similarly, he saw that from navel comes a lotus. Lotus means causal. And on that, Brahma, the creator, he sits there, and then Brahma, the Lord, seated on the lotus, and all the rishis and the divine serpents. Now these are the expressions how he saw and how it was expressed. So one thing is called that Vismaya. When we are experiencing something extraordinary, then comes that sense of Vismaya, Vismaya Avishta. That means it's not ordinary, it is something extraordinary. And Kamalasanastham, so it is, God is also, has another name, another epithet. It is called Padmanabh. So what is that? Shamashti Pratibimba Chaitanya. So that from there, so these are the various expressions, but we don't go in that detail. But what is the cause of this universe? So I see everything in your body. Then he gives more expression to his experience up to verse 22nd. Anek bahu dar vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvatonanta rupam Nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami Vishweshwara Vishwarupa. So, O Vishwarupa, that means you are form of this universe, or universe is your form. You are universe. So I see thee, O boundless form, on every side with manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes, neither the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning of thee do I see, O Lord of the universe, O universal form. Now all these, that face and udara, what he saw, mid, manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes, these are expression as I gave the example of Pashupati Maharaj. So this way we understand, otherwise we cannot even express. How to express? If there is nothing to hold, there should be two things. One is Laukika and Parikshakana. So Laukika, if we are to convey something to someone, we have to convey in the wordings, even imageries, that is understandable by the local, Laukika. Laukika means that person who is, who want to know. Or even Parikshakanam, those who want to examine. We have to convey in such words which is understandable by him. So here, these are various forms: arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes. Either the end, and neither I see the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning. That means eternal. It is not limited by anything. Say time. Now time is also melting. The gravitational force is also melting. Now it is becoming one. So here, even scientists, when they explain now they cannot explain. How to explain? Which is, even they cannot perceive how that can be explained. So here, this is the way it is explained. So I see thee, the boundless form, on every side, with manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes, neither the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning, even time. It is our imagination that we have past, present, and future. But is there any limit of time? And secondly, time is also conceived. Time is also conceived as we imagine. Sometimes 1 hour becomes like a few hours, and sometimes even once 1 hour is so short. When we are in difficulty, then 1 hour becomes a very long period of time. And when it is good time, even few days looks like, oh, it has gone without any lagging of time. So anyway, so these are relatives, but through this he wanted to show what is not expressible, cannot be shown. Now we go to the next. Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha tejorashim sarvato diptimantam pashyami tvam duriniriksham samantat diptan alarkat dutim aprameyam. Aprameyam. You cannot be measured. You cannot be aprameyam, immeasurable. So I see thee with diadem, club, and discus, a mass of radiance shining everywhere, very hard to look at, all round blazing like burning fire and sun, and immeasurable. So you cannot be measured. But you have, I see so many forms, because Arjuna is individual here. So he is experiencing this. And Vyasadeva is giving the expression through his poetic imagination. So Kiritinam Gadinam. Kiritam is one with diadem. The Kiriti that with um, uh, that like headgear. Gadinam with club. Chakrinam with discus. And Sarvata everywhere. Diptimantam, shining Tejurashi, a mass of radiance, like that Shiva, experience of Shiva by Swami Vijayanandaji. So, I see all this. Then he goes away, goes to the next. Tama aksharam paramam veditavyam. Tamasya vishwasya param nidhanam. Tamabhyah shashvatam dharma gopta. Shashvata dharma gopta. Sanatanastvam purusho matomi. Thou art the imperishable, the supreme being, the one thing to be known. Thou art the great refuge of the universe. Thou art the undying guardian of the eternal dharma. Thou art ancient Purusha, I win. That is his, according to him, this is my mata. That means this is my understanding. This is my perception. Tvam, you, aksharam. Aksharam means that cannot be perished, imperishable. Paramam, supreme. Veditavyam, you alone is to be known. Tvam, you. Asya vishwasya param nidhanam. You are the supreme refuge of this whole universe. Avyayaha, undying. Shashvata dharma gopta. That means you alone are the knower. Knower means you are the sustainer. And also you are the origin of dharma, guardian of dharma, eternal, righteous principle. Ancient Purusha. You are the oldest, the ancient one. From you everything is originated. Now we go to the next. Anadi madhyantam ananta viryam ananta bahum shashi surya netram pashyami tvam dipta hutasha vaktram swatejasa vishwamidam tapantam. I see thee without beginning, middle or end, infinite in power, of manifold arms, the sun and the moon thine eyes, the burning fire thy mouth, heating the whole universe with thy radiance. So these are expressions anadi, madhya, ananta, anta, madhyanta. So you are ananta, eternal. What is that? You have no beginning, no middle, no end. And your power, your valor is ananta, supreme, without end. Ananta bahum, and you have manifold arms, many instruments. Ananta bahum shashi surya netram. So your eyes are sun and moon. These are expressions we have to understand and imagine, or try to imagine how he must have experienced it. And why to try to imagine, it is because then it will inspire us to have similar experience. Now we go to the next. Dyava prithivyoridharam antaram hi vyaptam tvaikena dishascha sarvaha drishtvaadbhutam rupamugram tavedam lokatrayam pravyatitam mahatman. I'll read that up to 22nd and then we'll go to the translation. Amihi tvam surasanga vishanti kechid bhita pranjalayo grinanti swasti tuktva maharshi siddha sanghaha stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhi. Rudraditya vasavo yecha sadhya Vishweshino marutaschoshma pascha Gandharva yaksha asura siddha sangha Vikshante tvam vismitaschaiva sarve. We will take up this also. Rupam mahatte bhuvaktra netram Mahabahu Mahabaho Bahurupadam Bahudaram Bahudrangshta Karalam Drishtva Lokaha Prabhatitasthaham. So the translation is, this space betwixt heaven and earth and all the quarters are filled by thee alone. So that means you alone reside. Having seen this, thy marvelous and awful form, the three worlds are trembling with fear. Bhisho smad vatah pavati, Bhisho deti suryaha. So it is by the presence of the divine that everything is in order. It is like this. You can see cops here and there. So cops the people are afraid. So says they are driving and somebody is caught there. So they will indicate that be careful, there is cops there. So people are afraid. Why? So that's why the order is kept. But where this cop gets power? It gets from the state. State gets power from the Union of States, federal government. And that president ultimately is the source of power. But president means it is not a person. It is the seat of power. It is impersonal, though a person may represent that. But every 4 years it is changed. This time also there is an election. This time. So everything is in order because of this power. Even the air is blowing because of the presence of God. Actually God, it is God in a different form. Bhisho deti suryaha. Even the sun is rising at right time, though it does not rise. It is poetic expression. So everything is in order because of the presence of God. So here also, tam aksharam paramam veditavyam. Thou art the imperishable, the supreme being, the one thing to be known. Thou art the great refuge of the universe. Thou art the undying guardian of the eternal dharma. Thou art the ancient Purusha. I win. I see thee without beginning, middle, or end, infinite in power, of manifold arms, the sun and the moon thine eyes, the burning fire, thy mouth, heating the whole universe with thy radiance. So these are to be taken as the expression that Arjuna must have experienced, and see how that experience was transmitted, or who is saying this? The whole thing is being explained to Dhritarashtra by Sanjay. So Sanjay had got that great eyes to see all the even hearts of people, even what Arjuna saw and how he felt. Nowadays we have roving camera. Like some the sporting event is there, so they go to and they zoom in what is happening, how they are fighting. But they cannot show what is in the mind of the player. So here Sanjay excels that. Even he tells what he is feeling, what is horrifying, how he is feeling, and what he is saying. And the whole thing is conceived by Vyasa. So that's why people doubt that it is only a poetic expression. But even then, say suppose it is a poetic expression, is it ordinary? Extraordinary. Even such subtle principles It is not ordinary. But how to express? He cannot express something which is, what he understands. He has to translate that understanding into the wordings that we understand. Swami Vivekananda came here and he explained the subtleties, the loftiest ideas of Upanishads into English, normal English, ordinary English phrases. It is extraordinary. Sri Ramakrishna explained the same thing, what he experienced in an ordinary language. It is superhuman. We cannot express. Like Picasso, he paints something, but I see only here and there. But people say, "Oh no, it's great." Maybe great. I don't understand. So, an uncle went to see an exhibition. So he was talking loud, especially we have like that. So people are silently looking at it, oh, appreciating, oh, wonderful, wonderful. But this uncle was talking loud. So somebody said, "Uncle, please don't talk loudly. People will get disturbed." And here everyone should watch everything very silently. Oh, everybody should be silent. And it is wrong to talk loud, right? But it's not wrong to spit on the wall. Spit on the wall? You are saying spit on the wall? Yes, see there, spit on the wall. Well, no, it's not a spit on the wall. It's a painting. So like that. So we don't understand because we don't have that eyes or training. But people will say, "Oh, this impersonal and this and that." And we say, yes. We have to nod. So anyway, so here also we are nodding. We don't understand what he experienced. And what Vyasa then translated that so that we understand. So until or unless we lift ourselves to that state, we cannot understand. So only we'll see, oh, God has so many stomachs, so many hands, so many heads. Aneka Bhaktanayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divyabharanam, Divyota Udyota Yudham. All this we will see that. Oh, so many hands, so many, oh God, my God. No, this is our way of understanding. Like that man, the beautiful painting, he saw it spitting on the wall. No, it is not only him, I also see that same thing. And nowadays, impressionists, they will not, not in details, just like this. Because, they say, while driving, you don't see like that. You don't see everything like so and defined. You have some impression. That's why they are called impressionist. And surrealist. Surrealist, that I went to Florida, then I went to the exhibition there. And we have that Dali Museum. So what is that? If you go at distance, then you'll see something else. Go closer, there's something else. So we have to go closer to see this. Then only gradually everything will open up. So Dyava Prithibhyo idamantarami vyaptam tvaikena dishasya sarva. Okay, I'll read that translation. I see thee without beginning, middle or end. See, this is what we see. We have this class, it has beginning. Now we are in the middle, and now we are almost ending. And in few minutes we will end. So we see only this. But here there is no end. There is no beginning. So this way it is expressed. Okay. I see thee without beginning, middle, or end, infinite in power. Power we also say, I lift this. Can you lift that? Can you lift this? Oh, but God can lift. Like somebody asked. It is like this. They form a question to have some contradiction or fallacy. What is that? Can your God create something which he cannot lift? If you say yes, oh, what kind of God he is? He creates something and he cannot lift. And if you say no, oh, your God cannot create anything like that. So, both ways you are defeated. So, what we say yes, my God creates something which he cannot lift, but he has device, like aircraft, okay, human being. So aircraft, you cannot lift, and it requires lots of cranes if you want to lift. But there is a principle of aerodynamics. You have to start and warm up, and then run it, and then increase the speed. There is a certain velocity, then the opposing air will lift it. So God can create something which he cannot lift. Okay. So, manifold arms, the sun and the moon, thine eyes, the burning fire, thy mouth, heating the whole universe with thy radiance. So this is, he has limitation. Limitation means he has no limitation. He has limitation to express that thing, to make those things to so that we understand. That is why he is using these words. We go to the next. This space betwixt heaven and earth and all the quarters are filled by thee alone. Having seen this, thy marvelous and awful form, the three worlds are trembling with fear, O great souled one. When we fly, we see huge space, huge. And we cannot imagine. And just imagine Andromeda, 2 million light years away. 1 second, and light travels 186,000 miles per second. Tick. And what is the distance? Say sun, it requires 8 minutes to light requires 8 minutes to travel from sun to earth. Now, what will happen in 1 year, and 10 years, 100 years, 1 million years, and 2 million years? So the Andromeda is so close. And it is expanding. It's huge, endless. Just imagine. In my boyhood, I used to imagine like I'm in between that, and all sides, it is, huge space. But this is also, we are seeing this. It's only object. The person who is seeing is greater than this object. So anyway, what I'm saying, it is seeing, how to see. We have to develop our eyes to see properly and correctly. We go to the next. Verily into thee enter these hosts of devas. Some extol thee in fear with joined palms, made be well. Thus saying, bands of great rishis and siddhas praise thee with the splendid hymns. So this is what we understand. So he has no other way to go. Poor Vyasdev. Actually, we are poor, but he is a teacher. He cannot run away also. He is so kind, so compassionate. And for us, he has given so many hints. But somehow we are engrossed, arrested in this world. We don't want to see the higher things. The Rudras, the Adityas, Vasus, Siddhas, Vishwadevas, and two Ashwins. Then Maruts and Usmapas, and host of Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, and Siddhas. All these are celestial beings. So, all these are looking at thee, all quite astounded. Having seen thy immeasurable form, with many mouths and eyes, O mighty armed, with many arms, thighs and feet, with many stomachs, and fearful and many tusks. The worlds are terrible, and so am I. So I am also trembling. Arjuna was trembling that time. And like if I ask an artist, okay, give expression. So what he'll do? He'll make so many faces, and some tusks are there, and bows and arrows and this and that. So we'll say, yeah, appreciate. Oh yes, very nice. Like that kind of seeing. One was blind from birth. One was recently blind. So one day somebody brought milk. So I have brought milk for you. Okay, very good. So this man who never saw milk, he asked, what is milk? Oh, milk you don't know. Yes, you have not seen. Okay. Milk is white. White? What is white? Oh, you don't know white also. It's like a grain white. Grain. What is grain? Grain, you don't know grain. Oh, it is like sickle. Sickle. What is sickle? Because he has not seen all these things. Sickle, you don't know sickle. Oh no. Oh, sickle has got this shape like this. So he said, oh, now I understand what is milk like. So, Arjuna experienced. Vyasadeva is trying to explain that experience through that, what is that? What is his name? Sanjay. And then it is written there. And we are trying to understand what is milk like. Milk like this. So we have to develop our eyes to see this. Then only we can understand. Okay, it is time. We will stop here. So that's why we need Divyam Chakshu. Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu. So we have to pray to God, oh God, please give me my Divya Chakshu so that I can see your form, see your splendor. So with that, we pray. Any question?
When you talk about divine perception, you talk about
Perception.
how you see. The last one is divine perception, and yet you said that Arjuna is thinking if he gives divine perception of something non-God. Is that correct?
No, this is also divine perception.
It is divine perception.
That's why Divyam Dadami Che Chakshu. So one is called Charma Chakshu. That means this physical eye. What we see, gross things. But that when it is tainted by our liking, disliking, we don't see correctly. Now, over that we have power of imagination. Power of imagination. So we have inferential knowledge. Objective knowledge, inferential knowledge. Then we have intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge. Then we have divine knowledge. So this is divine, but if he would not have written this, say, oh, it is divine, we would have missed everything. At least he has tried to say something. Now it depends on us how we try to see or not to see. Right? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Next Sunday we'll have singing of carols, and 24th we'll have Christmas Eve at 6 p.m. Christmas carol at 11 p.m. Yeah, 11 a.m. Sorry. Yes.
Imagination takes you where you may not go otherwise. If you can live it, it is so vivid. All you are not any lies. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. With the brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but you know I'm not the only one. And I hope someday that you will join us, and the world will live as one. Live as one, please. Imagine that.
Thank you very